Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Feel Good Fridays. Coming live straight at you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's your hosts, Polly and Bags.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Feel Good Fridays. I'm Paulie.
And I'm Bags.
And today, folks, we're going to talk about a level of leadership that we find truly important, and that is creativity. So, Bags, tell us why it's important for leaders out there to be creative.
Hey, my friends, have you ever, felt like it's Groundhog's Day? You wake up and it's the same thing over and over again, right? That is how a lot of your team feels when you're delivering the same message over and over. You're going to ask them to do the same things over and over again. So as a leader, this is not an easy subject to do, but you got to get creative, right? You got to get creative. You got to spice it up. You got to get your team to think differently sometimes, even though it's the same message and the same delivery and the same result you're trying to obtain. Sometimes you got to change it up a little bit, Paulie, to get them excited to try something new or deliver the message differently so maybe they can interpretate it and make that change they're looking for. So creativity, easier said than done, Paulie.
No, absolutely spot on there. And I think as you look at ways to be creative, right, what are some ways that I like to be creative is lean on my peers out there. Lean on my network and, bring a celebrity guest in and have them deliver the message in their own unique way. Will resonate with a lot of folks on your team because let's face it, not everyone wants to hear me every single meeting, every single day. It's good to get that fresh take, that fresh voice inside your room or inside your meetings.
Yeah, no, I'd even say too, if you have the ability and you have big vendors, utilize them to come in and deliver a message, training, whatever it might be that you've been trying to do. And maybe that person's different perspective or approach might even help your team accept that message as well.
No, spot on. I mean, hearing how great something is over and over from one person, how truly great is it?
Yeah.
Let's get some other folks in here to talk about the same message. And then it really hits home for a lot of our folks.
Yeah, I'd even say too, you can even get creative as well as when you're trying to do team building events. It's easy to just go, hey, let's go bowling or let's go throw an axe or let's go to the bar for a little happy hour, whatever it might be. Sometimes just getting creative there is a good way to just take a different approach and get people excited. And as we talked about, Paul, not everybody likes going bowling or going to the bar, right? So you got to try to maybe help somebody who's never done something before. Like, wow, I would have never tried this if you didn't suggest doing this.
Yep, ties back into, motivation. Not everyone is motivated the same way. Same with team building events too. You got to mix it up. You got to, ask the group what's some of the events that they would like to do because, like you said, not everyone enjoys throwing an 8-pound ball down a lane. So
yeah, watch out for those gutters. But also, I'd say the last thing I'd say is a good one too is when you're working with your team is social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an unbelievable. Yes, as you see, it can be a detriment and it can be a show and all that stuff. But man, there's certain resources out there. If you have an open mind, you can see how somebody else is doing something. It may not be specific to your industry, but you can take bits and pieces of that and utilize that and getting creative with your own team to do whatever it might be as well. So you use social media to your benefit. I mean, yeah, it can be the bottomless hole of craziness and scrolling, and you're like, what am I doing sitting here wasting my life away? But there is really good opportunities out there. People do really cool things. And I'm one of those guys that are like, not to steal, but I like to borrow and, like you said, modify it to my team, right? So again, social media can be utilized for a way to become a better leader if you keep your open mind and just try to digest and figure out what you can do with your team.
Yeah, there's been a ton of things that I've stolen across the social media platforms over my years of, as a leader. So definitely utilize the tools that are out there for you. But that's going to be a wrap for us today, folks. If you missed any of our previous episodes, be sure to head to our YouTube channel at Feel Good Fridays Podcast or listen to us on the go using iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your pods. So, Bags, what do we have in store for our audience next week?
I think we might have a surprise. So I think they got to tune in. I think we're going to do a little change of pace in our next Feel Good Fridays.
Sounds good. Well, until then, take care.
It's slick back your hair.
Thank you for tuning in to Feel Good Fridays. If you want to stay up to date with our podcast releases and upcoming material, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. I'll wait. You didn't do it yet. Go ahead. I'm still waiting. Did you do it? Definitely check us out on our TikTok for special announcements and possible giveaways. Both can be found by searching at Feel Good Fridays Podcast. Thank you, and make it a great day.